Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving Day, and I hope you're having a great Thanksgiving Day weekend. Well, here we go. Ohio State, Michigan doesn't get any better than this. This is a rivalry. I know people, when it comes to baseball, talk Yankees, Red Sox. You cannot compare college football rivalries like Ohio State, Michigan to Yankees, Red Sox. It's not even close. I mean, I don't want to insult baseball fans out there, and I'm one of them, but Yankees Red Sox rivalry, no comparison to Ohio State, Michigan. And that rivalry goes on around the year. Around the year, they're talking about Ohio State, Michigan. That's how big that rivalry is. And they're going to pack Ann Arbor Stadium, 109,000, 110,000, whatever the capacity of that stadium is. And it doesn't matter with Ohio State going into that game as the number one team in the nation, undefeated, and the defending national champion. It doesn't matter if the Buckeyes don't beat Michigan. Simple as that. And Michigan has had the upper hand. Michigan has won 4 in a row over Ohio State, and that's almost cost Ryan Day his job. Think about it for just a moment, how big the rivalry is that you could be a defending national champion, you could be number one, and you go into Michigan knowing you better win this game or suddenly your job is on the line. I mean, Ryan Day could go on and lose that game against Michigan on Saturday and stay in the job and win the national championship, back-to-back national championships. And in Ohio State, he would have his critics because he can't beat Michigan. So this is a huge game for Ohio State. And as I said, college football and the college football rivalries, talk Clemson, South Carolina, talk Ohio State, Michigan. I'll give you an example. Clemson, South Carolina. One time I'm going into Clemson. This was when I was broadcasting University of Hartford games on the radio. Go into Clemson, and we arrive on a Tuesday for a Wednesday night game. And I'm seeing these campers on the Clemson campus all over the place, these RVs, campers, whatever. And I'm wondering what's going on. And we get to the campus and someone said, oh, don't you know? Clemson is hosting South Carolina on Saturday. This is the big rivalry. They start showing up days before on campus in their RVs. That's how intense these college football rivalries are. And I'll never forget one time, this was when I was broadcasting the American Basketball League New England Blizzard games. The ABL was the forerunner to the WNBA, and we had a game on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, a night game against Columbus, which was also in the ABL, and it just so happened that during the day, Michigan and Ohio State were playing in Ann Arbor. So the big focus was on that game, but people in the Buckeye State, they were watching it on television if they couldn't get up to Ann Arbor. But what I found fascinating as I drove to and from the shoot-around the morning of the game were several homes were displaying Michigan flags. That's right, Michigan flags in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. So as much as you might think, well, Ohio State is 100% Buckeyes. No. I saw I couldn't believe it. But and how about those residents taking a chance and displaying a Michigan flag in Ohio country? But they do. This was back in the 1990s, by the way. So we're talking almost 30 years ago. But it's just an intense rivalry. Now, Ohio State is giving 9.5 points in this game. 9.5 points. Who do you bet? I mean, Michigan they're not as good as Ohio State this year, but they seem to find particularly playing at home, they seem to find the intensity to give Ohio State not only a battle, but win. That's like I said, 4 in a row. Michigan has won over Ohio State, and Michigan is getting 9.5 points as of the recording of this video / podcast, and it's from DraftKings. So I'll tell you right now, but you know Ohio State's going to be out there to prove something. Prove that not only can they beat Michigan under Coach Ryan Day, but they can cover. Will they cover? That's the big question. So, my pick, Ohio State will win the game outright. but they will not cover. That's how I'm looking at it. Ohio State will win the game outright and put an end to Michigan's 4-game winning streak over the Buckeyes, but they will not cover. And as I said, we're going by the DraftKings spread of 9.5 points. We shall see. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thank you for subscribing to the newsletter. See you later.